the Congress put fees on oil companies that don't utilize permits that already own. Is that something that you would support and implement here? And also, you're calling it the Putin gas hike, but gas prices started rising a year ago. So is all of this to blame on Putin, or are there other issues?
No, partially. I don't say it's all Putin, but it's partially. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, here's the thing. When the president makes his statement, I will comment on his statement. Okay, so thank you very much for your advanced knowledge of it, but I don't have that, and so I won't comment on it. But I do, Putin definitely contributed to this gas hike. So I'm not saying it's all his, no, but it's largely his. So when we talk about this, price of oil went down from what, 140 to 105. Have you seen it go down at the pump? Seems like it goes up when the price of oil goes up. It doesn't necessarily come down when it goes down. So to your first part of your question, we have always said, use it or lose it. 9,000 permits exist for them to drill on land, on shore. And one of the things that I would say is that we want to fight inflation. The price of oil is an indicator, or the price of gas at the pump is an indicator. Putin has exacerbated it. But we cannot allow the fossil fuel industry to use this as an excuse to reverse everything we're doing to save the planet. One of the things I think that the president may say, I don't have this as a fact, is that we will use the Defense Production Act to speed up diversification so that we're not so dependent on oil. One of the encouraging, many of the meetings that we had at Munich with leaders in Europe, either heads of state or the EU, or countries coming together, was about diversification. Everybody knows security and energy are linked. If you're dependent on a country like Russia, your security depends on your having that energy, but it also is a risk to your security to have somebody like a Putin call your shot. Secondly, in that regard, we are trying to supply as much as we can to backfill what people would not get from Russia should the countries decide they're not going to buy the oil from Russia. But what we heard that was so encouraging at all the meetings in Munich was diversification, diversification, diversification. We must stop being dependent on energy, not just oil, but other energy products from Russia. Same thing here, diversification. So again, we have a short-term problem, we have a long-term opportunity. We want to reduce the cost of the price at the pump. We would hope that there would be some relationship between the price of oil coming down, the president releasing the $1 million a day of the SPRO for the next 6 months, increases supply. Supply usually reduces cost. And now we'll just see how that is reflected. It costs a lot of money in California. If you drive around in California and see the cost, you think, how could this be when the price of oil has been coming down? So we'll